Why did it take Sabrina Carpenter 10 years to get where she is now? It's not like people didn't know who Sabrina was. She was performing on Good Morning America, invited to talk shows, and had a decent following on social media. So she was well known, but she wasn't receiving her flowers. She was underrated, yes. She harvested a lot of talent and potential, yes. But why did it take her so long to get where she is now? After all, Melanie Martinez has said it best. Sabrina Carpenter has been that girl. You've been living under a rock. Sabrina Carpenter is an actress, singer, songwriter most known for her hit single Nonsense, Feather, and currently her recent single Espresso. However, Miss Carpenter has been working on her singing career since 2014. That's right. At the age of 14, she signed with Disney's label Hollywood Records and was required to produce 5 albums for them at the end of her contract, which for obvious reasons would prove to be problematic down the line. The first time I was introduced to Sabrina Carpenter was when the music video for Can't Blame a Girl for Trying aired on Disney Channel in 2014. It was a cute, quirky tween music video that was very on brand for Disney. My first thoughts after seeing this video was, this girl needs her own show. And eventually my suspicions rang true when she starred in Girl Meets World and played Maya Hart, a rebellious teen who accompanied her best friend Riley Matthews. And this was a lot of people's first introduction to Sabrina, so her demographic at the time was kids and tweens. So when people say, why did it take so long? Well, think about it. While she was under Disney's label Hollywood Records, she was viewed as just that, a Disney girl. She wasn't reaching people outside of the demographic that Disney catered to. Under Disney, she had no choice but to play it safe, and her sound was just that. Safe and run-of-the-mill, which was unsustainable for longevity. This is where the problem lies. When representing Disney, artists are restricted in what they are able to put out and oftentimes have to censor themselves to abide by a sanitized image that the company wants you to maintain. It is worth mentioning that she had some hits like Sue Me, Almost Love, Thumbs, and Why. She even collaborated with artists like Sweetie, so she was gaining some traction. People knew who she was, but not everyone was paying attention to her or streaming her music. Under Hollywood Records, she wasn't marketable because she didn't have an established brand. Although she had some good songs, she lacked a sense of identity. After all, how can you market to an audience when the label you're working for restricts you from having artistic freedom? You're not going to fully grasp who exactly your audience is, and the audience you're trying to reach isn't going to understand who you are. Also, side note, this isn't to discredit her talent at all, nor her past body of works. She has always been an incredibly talented artist, even before Espresso, even before Nonsense, and all the buzz surrounding her now. I cannot emphasize how much she accomplished, even without the viral hits that she's accumulated today. Once she ended her chapter with Disney and signed with Island Records, she was finally beginning to shed her child star image. She was no longer Disney's poster child. Oh no, she was a homewrecker. She was a slut. She was a rebound, getting round, man stealer, which is the worst thing you can be. This was an upset in pop culture history. The driver's license drama. Everyone and my mother knew about this. Okay, maybe not my mother, but anyone chronically online did. I won't rehash all the details, but I will say this negatively impacted Sabrina's career. I felt so bad for this girl because she was getting death threats for being part of a narrative that she never asked to be a part of. And don't get me wrong, I am an Olivia fan just as much as I am a Sabrina fan, and I don't blame either girl for what went down. I cannot stress enough how none of that drama was anyone's fault, or let alone any of our business to begin with. Ultimately, it was an unfortunate situation for all parties involved. As a result of the driver's license drama, she released Skin, which was her first song that she released under Island Records. Regarding the visuals for the Skin music video, it wasn't that different than when she was with Disney. That isn't intended to diss the song or the music video, but it's to highlight how she was still in the process of shedding her child star persona. I want to say the same thing with the single that followed Skin, Skinny Dipping. The music video is very Disney coded, which don't get it twisted, it's a super sweet song and I think the vibe calls for it. However, it isn't until the very end of the music video that we get a glimpse of the Sabrina we see now when she runs over her ex's body. Well, the crime scene, It feels symbolic, not that she runs over her ex's body outline, but also running over the box of memories that her past self places on the body. When her future self looks back at her current self, it symbolizes moving on from that chapter in her life, which translates in Sabrina's image. This portion of the music video is continued in Fast Times, which is where we really get to see a different side of her that we haven't seen yet in her career. First of all, it's the first time we get to see that cute heart cutout corset, but aside from that, it's more experimental. She shows a bit more skin, and she's exploring more with her image. And we see this more with Because I Liked a Boy with her red corset, old Hollywood dress, and lavish silky gloves paired with a diamond encrusted choker. It exudes such a breathtaking elegance and sophistication. Also her hair, chef's kiss. She's presented as more mature and really breaking away from the characters that we saw her play on Disney Channel. In my opinion, Fast Times was when we begin to see this shift in image, but Because I Liked a Boy is her more popular song. I think this is when more people start to take her seriously beyond being a Disney artist and a alleged homewrecker. We begin to see Sabrina. This was also when the driver's license drama died down, so this perspective of her side of the story was received better than Skin, just because there was less hostility and more empathy towards Sabrina. When Sabrina officially drops her fourth studio album, Emails I Can't Send, is when we enter a new era and we get blessed with this hit, Nonsense. Nonsense is when we get the Sabrina that we know now. Sarcastic, witty, and raunchy. Personally, I'm surprised that Nonsense wasn't originally released as a single because when I first listened to this, I thought, this is a banger. Why is it not viral? Much like her career, this was a slow burn success. It wasn't an immediate viral sensation, but when she went on tour was when it started to gain the recognition it so rightfully deserved. Do renditions of the outro of Nonsense, clips of her performing it went viral. One of the first outros that I remember seeing was the Joshua Bassett one. The audience lost it and I myself was gagged because Sabrina never directly addressed the driver's license drama, and that was the closest we got to her acknowledging the drama aside from Skin and Because I Liked a Boy. Whenever she would perform on tour, people were constantly looking forward to what she was going to say, like, oh my god, everybody shut up, listen, what you going to come up with this time? Especially when she would do outros dedicated to the city she was in, the audience was able to connect with her in a way that we hadn't seen before. It was so tongue-in-cheek, quick-witted, and original. She just kept going viral and was consistently on people's radar. A lot of her lyrics were very vulgar, which is another reason why people were tuning in. It's hard for women to embrace their sexuality in society, and Sabrina was doing it so unapologetically. This is where it felt like she was beginning to form her identity as a performer. Her stage presence was something new, fresh, and exciting. Her personality on stage was admirable and entertaining to watch. It revealed a different side of Sabrina's personality beyond the music, beyond the drama, and any other preconceived notions about her. When she went on tour with Taylor Swift, she was able to market her music to a broader audience. However, even though she had more exposure by opening for Taylor Swift, she still had to be memorable and win the audience over to be viewed as more than a supporting act. Opening up for a big artist like Taylor is no easy task and can be quite daunting. However, her stage presence is like none other. She is a performer through and through. Her Broadway background comes in clutch because she isn't just singing the lyrics, but she's telling a story on stage that hooks her audience. It's effective storytelling and leaves a lasting impact on the crowd. Alright, we know the lyrics are iconic, but we have to talk about these costumes. Because if it wasn't the outro you were talking about, it was her performance outfits. From her Frolov heart-shaped cutout corsets to her Versace dress, if I could wear at least one of these outfits in my lifetime, I would be content for the rest of my life. Her white chunky boots are also a prominent occurrence in her performance. It's so Y2K inspired and reminds me of Totally Spies. I am absolutely in love, obsessed, and hooked. These looks are a cultural reset, I'm telling y'all. By leaning into fashion, she opens herself up to a wider audience. She really hones in on her use of aesthetics to further distinguish her brand. People are able to recognize her talent and identify, oh, that's Sabrina Carpenter. Not only does it define the Emails I Can't Send era, but it's a defining moment in her career. Feather is a song on Sabrina's deluxe album Emails I Can't Send Forwarded that proved that Nonsense wasn't a viral fluke. If anything, it let the world know that she had more in store for us. Feather is such a cute song. I feel so light on my feet when I listen to it. It's so carefree, playful, and airy. It's one of the first post breakup songs that I've heard in a long time that expresses self love and is unapologetic with their new confidence. The lyrics, I'm so sorry for your loss. This girl has my heart. I guess I should talk about the church incident. Sabrina Carpenter had a controversy with the Catholic Church because of her use of suggestive content in the church for her music video. In my opinion, the church portion of the music video was the most tame scene out of any of the others. However, I understand religion can be a touchy subject, so I won't dive too deep into the situation. This was Sabrina's first controversy since the driver's license drama, and unlike the driver's license drama, this didn't hinder her at all. If anything, I think it adhered to the theme of the music video, which was that playful naughtiness, being mischievous, and going against the grain. Even if it wasn't intentional, it was very on brand of Sabrina. To wrap up this era, the Emails I Can't Send tour was an absolute success for her career, and she was able to take back the narrative that was pitted against her. She's giving us visuals, she's giving us looks, and she is bringing back pop to life. However, I thought we were being fed until she dropped this banger. Espresso. She is not only feeding us, but she is keeping us hydrated and caffeinated with this hit. We are witnessing an icon in the making. With Espresso comes a new look, but it still embodies Sabrina's persona. The vintage beach theme sets the tone for this new era, separating itself from Emails I Can't Send, but is still identifiable with what her image consists of. Her careless attitude as she wreaks havoc throughout the video, even when she gets arrested, is so on the nose. It's very reminiscent of her Feather video when, even though everyone around her is dying, you can't help but root for her. She has this charm that is so unique and such a breath of fresh air. This music video is like if Sharpay Evans starred in Teen Beach Movie. I love the colors used in this video. The Manhattan baby dress is brilliant. I must say, blue is this girl's color. I love that brown bathing suit she wears, but blue really highlights her features the best in my opinion. In hindsight, she should have been cast for the Barbie movie. She resembles a Barbie doll, from her beauty to her outfits and just the way she carries herself. It was smart to release this song in April because this is around the time when spring break occurs and right before summer break begins for a lot of people. It's definitely a song you play when you're on vacation or taking a break to de-stress. It was also wise of her to release this song right before Coachella while she was in the public's eye, because people were definitely tuning in to see what the nonsense outro was and her iconic performance of Feather. So this was a great way to build anticipation for a new song that she would be performing live for the first time. Coachella is when everyone's eyes are on emerging artists, so this was perfect timing and strategic marketing. Before the Emails I Can't Send era, Sabrina Carpenter had 4 albums underneath her belt. This means she's had to experiment with her sound and brand identity over the course of these albums. You can't rush perfection, and you have to trust the process. Everyone's journey is different, and if it wasn't for her experimenting with her sound and her image, we probably wouldn't have the Sabrina we have today. Why this era works is that she has a more clear sense of identity that distinguishes her from her peers. She has more control of what her brand is and is more committed to her current persona. Her personality is prevalent in her brand, it's authentically her, and she doesn't have to try hard to get you to believe it. It's original and unique, which is what sets itself apart from her past body of works. By niching down, she was able to reach her target audience faster, and they were able to reciprocate by streaming her music and getting her songs to chart higher than ever before. When you think of artists that have a long-lasting impact, it's because you can identify them based on their unique sound, persona, and image that they present themselves. For example, Lana Del Rey, Melanie Martinez, Billie Eilish, and now Miss Sabrina Ann Lynn Carpenter herself. Espresso has me so excited for her career. So far it has 300 million streams and hit #1 on the Billboard 100. Apparently, if it keeps performing well, Miss Carpenter just may be in the running for her very first Grammy. I am very proud of how far she's come, This past year, she's collaborated with Marc Jacobs, served stunning looks at the Met Gala, performed on SNL, and so many more notable things. I can't wait to see what the future has in store for her, and hopefully she's able to solidify her legacy as a pop icon.